Hello, YouTube. I'm Jasamune. That's Arthas, and today we are exploring the possibilities of what could have happened in Azeroth, but not the Azeroth you know. So, this story, like many others, begins with a wizard named Medivh, who's been hearing whispers goading him to build something, promising him great untold power. And at first, he doesn't listen to these whispers because, he's not crazy. But eventually, he gives in. He goes deep into the black morass away from human civilization and constructs the portal that's been seared into his mind. And he finishes building that portal and nothing happens because we kind of broke the other one into Nan Jungle after we arrived, so no one shows up. It's just that's it. No orc invasion, no ogres. So I don't know how much you know about what happened in our Azeroth, but that first war between orcs and humans was brutal for the humans. But here, there were no orcs. And humans, when they're not fighting, they're procreating. And so the human population explodes into levels unseen before. And this is going to end up being a problem because the humans of Stormwind expand into Duskwood and then to Stranglethorn, and now there are all these disparate trolls that are in the way, and so humans, being the xenophobes they are, start eliminating the trolls. And so Stormwind is clearing out Stranglethorn, Arathi seeing the same kind of growth, though the Arathi have always been slightly less xenophobic, but they're trolls, so of course they eliminate the trolls, but they do end up aligning with the Wildhammers, so that's pretty good for them. It's like, hey, we hate the trolls, you hate the trolls, let's work together, let's be friends, it's cool. Uh, Greymane and Gilneas, are worried about the other nations, and so they actually build their wall early, not to protect themselves from anything other than other people, because they are very isolationist. Um, that brings us to Lordaeron, where Anderhall has very much increased their wheat production, which will be very important later. Some of you know why. Some of you know why, but they expand eastward since Gilneas built that wall. They can't really go west. And they come up against the Amani trolls, and they lay siege to Zulaman. And the elves kind of want the humans to leave, but the humans outnumber them a lot. And so, after the siege has been going on for a while, an elven strike force kind of sneaks past everyone and eliminates the remaining trolls to try and, get on the good side of the humans, I guess. And, they end up negotiating some kind of deal to trade magic artifacts and whatnot for wheat. Because, if you're trading with someone, then they're less likely to, try and eliminate you. So this goes on for a while, and I would say that along the timeline, the eradication of trolls happened around the time of the Second War in our world. And so now we're coming up to what would be the Third War, the Legion invasion. And Clotaris also very isolationist. Admiral Proudmoore didn't die this time. Guess what? Jaina, daddy's girl, never left Clotaris, never went to Dalaran, never met Arthas. So that means Arthas just has some lesser alkalite simps following him around everywhere. There's about 6 of them. They'd do anything for him. And around this time, a certain wizard of Dalaran named Gel'Thuzad starts hearing whispers. But how can that be? He was hearing the whispers of Ner'zhul, and Ner'zhul never became the Lich King in this world, so that's right, he's getting whispers directly from Kil'jaeden. And he also succumbs to those whispers in this world too. Starts the Cult of the Damned, develops the plague, and you know where that plague was released? That's right, the Anderhall wheat fields. But now that wheat is being sent to Silvermoon, to Stormwind, to Arathi. It's being sent everywhere. It's not just Lordaeron. And so things kind of play out similarly. Stratholme is one of the first places hit. Arthas heads there, has his showdown with Tichondrius, who lures him to Northrend. Only this time there's no dwarf waiting there for him, but he's got his 6 simps. It's fine. It's fine. They'll hunt down Tichondrius. He gets Frostmourne. But who does he kill? That's right, all 6 of them dead. Souls claimed by Frostmourne. He becomes Death Knight as per usual. But the souls in this sword are so devoted to him that the sword releases them and they also become Death Knights. This is when Tichondrius shows up and he has the Helm of Domination because there is no Lich King. And he's taunting Arthas, and Arthas kills him and takes the helm, and he puts it on. And that kind of incapacitates him for a bit. So he ends up staying in Northrend a bit longer than he did in our world. But he's got 6 loyal Death Knights protecting him. And so when he finally manages to get things under control, they return to Lordaeron. And he finds the city abandoned. There's no one living left there. Because the plague was so bad. So bad. He doesn't need to kill his father. His father's already dead. Already undead, actually. Everyone is undead. Things play out similarly. Whispers tell him to raise Kel'Thuzad as a lich. And so he finds the lich's body in phylactery and takes them to the Sunwell, and the resistance in Silvermoon is much lighter because, as we covered, they were also receiving Anderhall wheat. The plague burst right in the middle of the city, and there are some survivors holed up in the Sunwell, but Arthas has been collecting an army of ghouls, and the remaining survivors don't stand a chance. So the elves pretty much gone. Sad day. He uses the power of the Sunwell to resurrect Kel'Thuzad as a lich, and then leaves one of his simp generals with a good portion of undead to make sure that nothing living remains in Silvermoon Forest. And then he strikes the rest of his army and heads south to go to the various areas and make sure that there's nothing living left in the Eastern Kingdoms. And that's where we're gonna end for today. Thanks for listening. If you're still here, if you could, if you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. Also share the video with your friends, your guildies, randos you run M plus with, and Discord link in the description if you are interested in supporting ideas for new stories that I could possibly tell. Stay safe out there.